Getting U.S. citizenship is a dream shared by millions around the world, but for people from some countries, that journey can be far more difficult than most imagine. In 2026, while many immigrants successfully become American citizens every year, applicants from certain Asian countries often face additional challenges, longer pathways, or lower success rates influenced by immigration trends, visa histories, and strict screening procedures. So which Asian countries have the lowest chance of reaching U.S. citizenship? Stay with us as we count down 7 Asian countries with the lowest chance of getting U.S. citizenship in 2026. Some of the countries on this list may surprise you, and the number 1 country is probably not the one you're expecting. Let's begin. Number 7. Pakistan. Starting our countdown at number 7 is Pakistan. Here, applicants don't just face a visa interview. They may also go through what's known as administrative processing, an additional background and security review conducted by the U.S. government that can take several months, depending on the individual case. On top of that, the visa refusal rate for certain types of applications is over 45%, making the first step toward entering the United States more challenging for many applicants. One of the main reasons is the stricter security screening and thorough verification of documents and personal information. As a result, the review process often takes longer before U.S. authorities can make a final decision on whether an application will be approved or denied. This does not mean that all Pakistani applicants are automatically refused, but compared with many other countries, they generally face a longer and more complicated process. Despite these challenges, it is still possible for Pakistanis to become U.S. citizens through the legal immigration process. However, because obtaining a visa and permanent residency can be more difficult at the beginning, the journey to U.S. citizenship is often longer and more demanding. That's why Pakistan ranks at number 7 in our countdown. Oh wait, before we continue to the next country, we'd love to know, are you enjoying the video so far? Let us know by leaving a comment below and sharing your thoughts. And don't forget to tell us where you're watching from by mentioning your country or city. We'd love to see how far our videos have reached around the world. Now, let's continue with the next country. Number 6. Uzbekistan. At number 6 is Uzbekistan. In recent years, the United States has become more cautious when reviewing applications from this country, largely due to the rise in visa overstays, cases where visitors remain in the U.S. beyond their authorized period of stay. As a result, the visa refusal rate for certain types of applications has reached approximately 52.46%, making it more difficult for many applicants to obtain a U.S. visa. When a country has a high rate of visa overstays, U.S. immigration authorities tend to apply stricter scrutiny to new applications. Officers carefully evaluate an applicant's purpose of travel, financial capacity, and strong ties to their home country to determine whether they are likely to return after their visit. This does not mean that all applicants from Uzbekistan are automatically denied, but they generally face a more rigorous review process than applicants from many other countries. Despite these challenges, it is still possible for Uzbek citizens to legally enter the United States and eventually become U.S. citizens. However, because of the stricter screening and higher visa refusal trends, the path toward achieving the American dream is often longer and more demanding. Number 5. Bangladesh. Bangladesh is among the countries that have recorded a high visa refusal rate for certain types of applications, reaching approximately 61.45%. Because of this, U.S. immigration authorities have become more thorough when reviewing applications, particularly when assessing an applicant's purpose of travel and whether they are likely to comply with the conditions of their visa. One of the main reasons is the careful verification process conducted by the U.S. government. Officers closely examine an applicant's documents, financial capacity, travel history, and evidence of strong ties to Bangladesh to determine whether they are likely to return after their authorized stay. This does not mean that all Bangladeshi applicants are automatically denied, but they generally face a higher level of scrutiny than applicants from many other Asian countries. Because obtaining a U.S. visa can be more challenging, the journey toward permanent residency and eventually U.S. citizenship often becomes longer as well. Despite these obstacles, many Bangladeshis still successfully enter the United States legally as students, workers, or permanent residents. It simply shows that while the American dream remains achievable, reaching it often requires stronger qualifications, complete documentation, and greater patience throughout the immigration process. Number 4. Afghanistan. Afghanistan is one of the countries with the most difficult path for those hoping to enter the United States. In addition to a visa refusal rate of approximately 63.25% for certain types of applications, applicants also face another major challenge: the absence of regular U.S. visa services inside Afghanistan. As a result, many Afghan applicants must travel to countries such as Pakistan, Qatar, or other locations with a U.S. embassy or consulate just to attend a visa interview and have their applications processed. But the challenges don't end there. Because of ongoing security concerns and other immigration-related factors, U.S. authorities conduct more extensive background checks and document verification. An applicant's identity, travel history, and supporting documents are carefully reviewed before a final decision is made. In many cases, this process can take several months, or even longer, depending on the individual circumstances. This does not mean that every Afghan applicant is automatically denied, but it does mean they often face a longer and more complex immigration process than applicants from many other countries. Despite these obstacles, many Afghans still successfully enter the United States through legal pathways. Some qualify through family-based immigration, refugee programs, humanitarian pathways, or other lawful immigration options approved by the U.S. government. However, compared with many other Asian countries, Afghan applicants generally have to overcome more barriers before reaching their goal. For many of them, achieving the American dream requires not only strong qualifications and complete documentation, but also extraordinary patience, resilience, and determination. If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you won't miss any of our future uploads. Also, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and let us know what you think about this topic. We're all ears. Number 3. Turkmenistan. Turkmenistan is widely known as one of the most closed countries in the world, with strict government controls over travel, information, and international connections. In addition, the visa refusal rate for certain types of U.S. visa applications has reached approximately 64.74%, making it more difficult for many of its citizens to obtain permission to enter the United States. One of the biggest challenges for applicants from Turkmenistan is demonstrating strong ties to their home country. During the visa process, U.S. consular officers carefully evaluate factors such as employment, financial stability, property ownership, and family or community connections to determine whether an applicant is likely to return after a temporary stay. This does not mean that all applicants from Turkmenistan are automatically denied, but they often face a higher level of scrutiny than applicants from many other countries due to a combination of immigration-related factors. Despite these challenges, it is still possible for Turkmen citizens to legally enter the United States and eventually become U.S. citizens. Many successfully immigrate through family-based petitions, employment opportunities, or other lawful immigration pathways. However, compared with applicants from many other Asian countries, the journey is often longer and more demanding, requiring stronger documentation, greater patience, and persistence before achieving the American dream. Number 2. Nepal. Nepal is among the countries with the highest visa refusal rates for certain types of U.S. visa applications, reaching approximately 69.47%. This means that a significant percentage of applicants are not approved on their first attempt. As a result, U.S. immigration authorities have become more thorough when evaluating applications, particularly an applicant's purpose of travel and their ability to comply with the terms of their visa. One of the key factors U.S. consular officers consider is whether an applicant has strong enough ties to Nepal to return after a temporary stay in the United States. They carefully review employment, financial stability, travel history, and family or property connections before making a decision. This does not mean that all Nepali applicants are automatically denied, but because of higher refusal and visa overstay trends in certain visa categories, applications often receive a greater level of scrutiny. Despite these challenges, many Nepali citizens still successfully enter the United States through legal immigration pathways and eventually become U.S. citizens. Some immigrate through education, employment, family-based petitions, or other lawful visa programs. However, compared with applicants from many other Asian countries, the path is often longer and more demanding, requiring stronger qualifications, complete documentation, and considerable patience before achieving the American dream. Number 1. Laos. And here we are at the top of our list, Laos. For certain types of U.S. visa applications, the visa refusal rate reaches approximately 82.84%, making it one of the highest among Asian countries. In other words, more than 8 out of every 10 applicants are not approved on their first attempt. Because of this, even taking the very first step toward entering the United States can be an enormous challenge for many Laos citizens. One of the main reasons is the strict evaluation process conducted by U.S. consular officers. They carefully assess an applicant's purpose of travel, financial capacity, travel history, and evidence of strong ties to Laos to determine whether the applicant is likely to return after a temporary stay in the United States. This does not mean that all applicants from Laos are automatically denied, but because of higher refusal and visa overstay trends in certain visa categories, applications often receive a much higher level of scrutiny. Despite these challenges, the American dream is still possible to achieve. Many Laos citizens have successfully entered the United States through legal immigration pathways, including family-based petitions, employment opportunities, and other qualified visa programs. However, when the very first step is already one of the most difficult in Asia, the journey toward permanent residency, and eventually U.S. citizenship, naturally becomes much longer and more demanding. And there you have it, the 7 Asian countries with the lowest chance of getting U.S. citizenship in 2026. Keep in mind that this ranking does not mean it's impossible for people from these countries to become U.S. citizens. Every immigration case is unique, and success ultimately depends on meeting the legal requirements, providing complete documentation, and following the proper immigration process. If you found this video informative, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell so you won't miss our next countdown packed with facts, rankings, and fascinating stories from around the world. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.